So hello everyone, this is another late tribute review of season 5 episode 4 which I saw yesterday, and I understand this is 4 days late, but you know what, it's just the way it is. So yeah, I'm actually more refreshed obviously because I saw the episode yesterday, so I'll actually know what I'm talking about this time. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into the meat of it, and obviously this is leading off from my other reviews of season 1 and season 2. Season 1, season 2, I mean episode 1, episode 2 and episode 3, which you can find on my channel. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying that my favorite character, probably in this episode or so far in the season, is definitely Tara. I think it was such an excellent executive director, whatever decision to make her a vampire. I always had the feeling it was going to happen, and I really think that with her having this storyline, I don't know what's going to happen. It's something new, suspenseful. Obviously, it's not in the book, so you're just wondering, oh, where's it going to go? What's going to happen to her? So I'm really excited for this in general, and I hope that she becomes a sort of person who really fits into the whole Godric bloodline. Obviously, Godric was a very calm character, very controlled. He had lots of morals, and you have Eric, who is powerful, is strong, is controlled. Then you have Pam, who's like a female version of Eric, as you will, but obviously with all these connections to Eric, and that makes her, that gives her, she has a lot of feelings for Eric, and it's well moderated. And I really hope that Tara finds a way to kind of accept her vampirism, accept the way she is and what she is now, and to grow and become an amazing character. So yeah, so Tara for the win, definitely for this season, although I do have other favourite characters as well. So obviously I'm going to go from the main characters to the more like lesser characters. We have obviously Sookie, and I think it's interesting that they're kind of giving Sookie this now they're giving her a realization that she actually is causing, she herself isn't causing it, but because of people getting involved with her, people are dying and getting hurt, and situations are happening. And I feel kind of bad for her. Like she does feel very responsible for it. I mean, she went to hand herself into Jason, but I think the way she's going about dealing with it isn't healthy. She shouldn't be drinking. She should be sitting down with a clear and thinking, okay, if I really want to punish myself, what I should do is, instead of going to Jason at some random point at night, and I know it was just a very quick, impulsive decision to go to Jason, because obviously she'd made that decision there and then and gone and acted upon it as soon as she could. The police station wasn't open, but I think she wanted to really take responsibility or whatever. Obviously, for Debbie, she should have waited until the morning, gone to Sheriff Belfleur, and the whole situation would have been over with. She would have been in prison for it, punished, whatever. But of course, because she's sort of like the main character, as it were, well, she's supposed to be the main character. I don't think she's the main character anymore. They have to have a reason to keep her in. Also, it kind of ties in Alcide with her. And I actually do have a big gripe with Alcide. I like him in the sense that I think he's very funny. I think he's kind of a comical character because he's so like archetypal, what you'd expect. I think personally of a werewolf in the South, sort of like that pack mentality. Um, and obviously he's very, very good looking. But I was really angry that he went to Debbie Pelt's parents and said it was he said, yeah, I know she's been murdered, but it was the previous packmaster Marcus who'd murdered her, and that irritated me because it's not fair to her parents. That's punishing her parents for something they didn't do, and also resolving his own um issues with them to get them off his back, kind of thing, to make them think better of him than he actually is, and also to protect Sookie. I understand it's a logical decision for him being in the situation that he's in and getting where he wants to be, but morally it doesn't sit right with me. I mean, in the books, Debbie isn't exactly the best character, even though personally I think the way she was written, I think was very discriminatory. I I think there was much more depth to her than was actually given. I think she was just written in a very typical way. I think she was written just to be a villain and nothing else. but how she acted was not a reflection of how her parents are as people, and that irritated me. But hopefully we'll. Yeah, then he hooked up with Sookie, whatever. I knew this was coming. I can't remember which book they have a fling in, but I know they do have a fling at some point. And yeah, it was expected. I mean, I'm not really bothered about Sookie's relationships. I don't really care about Sookie in general. I'm not really a massive fan of Alcide. Last season, I preferred him over Bill, and preferred him over Bill because I kind of had like serious grudges with him in season 3, and I definitely preferred him over Eric last season. But now, after seeing what he did to Debbie's parents and the way he lied and everything like that, and didn't really bring it up with Sookie, didn't say to Sookie, you know what you did is wrong and you really should face repercussions for it. That, to me, that's not a good thing. It's not healthy, it's not productive, and it's just going to get them in more and more trouble. It's really ignorant in my opinion. But yeah. And then obviously we have I want to talk about the vampires last. I'll talk about Terry. Terry's storyline is very boring for me. It reminds me of the storyline from the main character from the video game L.A. Noire, where he was like a war hero kind of thing. Sorry, I'm by a main window outside, by a main road outside. He was a war hero, and there was something that happened back in the war, and he was scarred from it. I think it's a very real story. It does happen, but for me, it's just not interesting. It doesn't grasp me. It just seems like an unnecessary addition to characters that really don't have any effect or any kind of impact on the main storyline, the main plot line of this season. And obviously the main plot line of this season is this whole thing about Russell Edgington and him coming back, and you know, him potentially going out to wreak revenge and havoc on Eric and Bill for burying him, starving him for like a year or whatever, however long it's been, or 3 years, whatever. So yeah, the whole Terry thing is kind of unnecessary for me. I mean, I do like Terry. I think I liked him when he was gentle, but I think they're just really destroying him by giving him this storyline. If they made him a positive character who kind of tied in with Arlene, because honestly I think Arlene's got more issues than he has. Well, not more issues, but she's got more validation for a storyline because this whole Renee thing that was brought in last season. Then I think if he kind of was a supportive kind of character to her and helped to overcome this Renee thing, then that would be more. It streamline 2 characters, 2 storylines, and make it overall better. And you could really support Terry and be like, you know what, he's a really great character. I'm not saying it's stupid that they put this storyline in, not by any means, but I don't think it's particularly interesting to most people, and I think most people don't really care about it, and it's not really doing Terry any justice as a character, and that's a shame. And then we have Arlene, obviously. I don't think she was in this episode. Or she was kind of like, she knew what happened to Tara and what Sookie had done to Tara. And she's irritating. She's kind of being a bit prejudiced. She doesn't really know what went on and everything like that. But I think the way Arlene's written in the books is she's meant to be a kind of vampire. She turns into a real vampire hater. But you know what? Vampires aren't friendly, happy creatures, so I can get it. But yeah, I hope they do this whole Renee thing. I really like Renee as a villain. He was really original. He was interesting. Gorgeous, gorgeous voice, gorgeous face, and everything. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be resolved. Sorry, I've got a really bad cough. Hopefully that's going to be resolved, whatever. Then, you have, Jason getting invited to this party thing. Really, I'm just not interested. I mean, the fairy thing is interesting. It's kind of good to see they bring in new creatures in, like, progressing the story, just more than, like, a murder mystery with vampires kind of thing. But I don't think it's anything particularly catching or whatever. I was a bit surprised that he wasn't more reactive to the fact that his parents were fairies, or that he's a part fairy. But I don't know. In the books, he's not as much of a fairy as Sookie for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but the whole mind theory was just slips past him. But obviously with the fairy thing, I think there's going to be, either this season or next season, there's going to be a whole thing with the vampires, like, smelling the fairies and trying to kill them, whatever. Sookie's obviously, I think, going to take side with the fairies, because that's her natural alliance, whatever. And then we have Andy Belfleur, don't really care about him. It's just, I don't know, he's getting blackmailed by this guy, and obviously this guy's going to be bad news, you can tell it from a mile off. And then you have, who else is there? I can't remember. Oh, Jessica. I was really kind of disappointed. Like, Jessica didn't really react that much to Bill. She was like, "Yo, where were you? What were you doing? What the fuck happened?" Etc. Etc. But whatever. That's just whatever. Oh yeah, but it was nice that she was showing concern over Bill about Sookie. I kind of feel like when she was first sent into a vampire, she was kind of like this brat. Bill was like, "Oh, why do I have to be lumped with you?" Because obviously it was punishment to him to have to make her into a vampire. And now their strength is kind of, their bond is strengthened, and that's really good. I like them as father and daughter. I think they work really well together, even though I might not particularly like Jessica as a character. Then we have Bill. He's on the hunt for Russell Edgerton. He's trying to find out who on earth has let Russell Edgerton out. And then in the search for this, like, this microphone or this bug he's suspected has been planted in his office, he's kind of, you know, seen a pill or something or other like that, and he says to Jessica, "Oh, do what the hell you want." And for me, that was kind of weird. Like, it seems like he's really changed from being this, like, really old-fashioned kind of character from the first season to be really, like, modern, and I don't get it. Maybe it's his time as the king or something that's changed him, but I don't know. I kind of got to hurry up here, but then we have Eric. Obviously, he's pretty much in the same boat as Bill, trying to find out who knew about Russell Edgerton. This whole thing with him and Pam really broke my heart. I was almost in tears. It was so, like, emotional, so powerful, so impacting. The way they are together is like, they're just so. They are my favourite vampire maker child. I love them so much. Oh, well, apart from Godric and Eric, I love Pam and Eric so much. I was like, my heart was swelling. I was going to burst out in tears when she was like, you know, "You don't trust me, whatever, you might as well just say it. Release me." And then he actually turned around to her and he says, you know, "I'm doing it because I love you, because you can't be there when, like, I get punished for this Russell Edgerton thing." And then he's like, "You know, you're a maker now, you were born into greatness, you're going to pass on the bloodline, and it's going to, like, thrive." And that, oh, I love, this is like the old Eric, and I love this old Eric. I love this guy. So yeah, hopefully, maybe I don't think he's going to deal with his Godric feelings, but maybe, I don't know. And the whole authority thing, that little kid was like a bug or something like that. He was a sanguinista, he was killed. Roman's obviously a psychopath. It said in the interview that the guy who plays Roman, he said that his character's, like, all powerful, but he's very, like, childish and impulsive and stuff like that. And then obviously there's some sort of, like, tension in the authority. Some people just think he's a religious lunatic, whatever. And then you have Nora, who basically confessed who's leading the Sanguinistas. And then you have Pam and Tara. I'm going to speak very quickly on this because I've only got a minute of recording time left. But I love this pairing. It's not an official pairing, but obviously Pam says, "Oh, let by girls be by girls." And when I think they're going to have a very good, strong relationship where Pam does care for Tara a lot. I think as a maker she does. She didn't need to go and say to Tara, "Stop trying to kill yourself on the sunbed." But she did it. She said, "As your maker, I command you never to do that again." I think Tara's going to have a lot of issues. But you know what? I love the way they are together. In that feeding scene, that was so hot. I think they work very well together. I think Tara can learn a lot from Pam, but Pam can perhaps learn a lot from Tara and stop being so arrogant in a way. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to these two. I love the dynamic between them already, and it's definitely a relationship, a pairing, whatever to look out for. So anyway, I've got to go now, and this has been my quick thoughts and review of True Blood Season 5.